We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Absolutely crazy what is going on in the world at the moment. We have a global IT outage affecting every major company in the world, at least some of them, and it's an absolute disaster. But we are going to talk about the implications that this has on the world, also because why we need crypto to solve parts of this. And then we are going to talk about Bitcoin. There is a lot to talk about. It's going to be a little bit more politified politics, just because, and I already ask for forgiveness here, but I mean, Bitcoin is being politified at the moment. So we are seeing a lot in the US. Obviously, leading presidential candidate is basically taking on Bitcoin on the political agenda and even whole crypto, so there's no way around it anymore when you have the streams. And obviously then we talk about Ethereum ETF, because there is a major development that actually changes everything that we have been saying and talking about so far. And we are going to look at a couple of other things like ECB, European Central Bank, decision on rates, and many, many more topics, and obviously your topics. So this is a little bit of a different time here, but make sure to stay tuned all the way. So what is going on? Good morning, everyone. I have still, even if this time is different, I still have here my morning coffee locked and loaded, ready to go to talk about all of these topics. And I see there are already some people here. So please, guys, smash up the like button for this stream. I see it's just me here, and he's launching the party here with the first comment. And Mauricio Moita also says, I'm feeling it on my laptop. Yeah, probably you are in a company or somewhere where you're affected by this outage. I am not affected. Apparently, crypto holders are mostly spared. And then we also have Pink Panther here. Are my OMI tokens safe? Yeah, yes. Yes, they are safe as they get when you have them on your cold storage, right? And then Trucking Hank also, hey, what's going on? Delta Plane says, hi Hodler. Duck and Cover asks if it's a lunch break. Yeah, actually it's a lunch break. The hamster wheel, they let you out of your cage for a while, and then you can do whatever you want, but you're on a time limit, right? Also, crypto fixes that. But let's jump right into the topic here. So I hope you guys also have some kind of a lunch break or so. Smash up the lunch button for to a new all-time high for that. What is this outage you speak? Yeah, exactly. Let's go in. What is that outage that I'm speaking of? Look at that. Global IT outage grounds planes and sends broadcasters off air. And it's actually bigger than that even. So we see here the global outage is basically financial services and general practitioners' offices were disrupted only a couple of hours ago. TV broadcasters went offline as business worldwide is grappled with an ongoing major IT outage. Air travel has been particularly hit, with planes grounded, actually a lot of airlines, services delayed, airports issuing advice for passengers. And then earlier in the day, the cybersecurity giant CrowdStrike had experienced a major disruption. That is actually the cause of it, and they are working on a fix as we speak. So this is still developing. We don't know all of the basically all of the effects and the ripple effects out of that. There was a problem with his latest tech update, but this is what is happening when you use like such centralized solutions. And I'm not saying that it's bad or whatever, but if it happens, it has crazy effects throughout our digital world, right? And separately, Microsoft Cloud Services were restored after an outage. The company said on Friday, even as many users continue to report issues. So let's look a little bit more. So here you see it. Banks, media, airports, airlines affected. Global payment system impacted. Australia calls for emergency meeting. 9/11 services disrupted across the USA. London Stock Exchange disrupted. So it really has impact on all of the traditional industry here. We see it basically. You see the on the down detector. You see it here: Bendigo Bank, NAB, Foxtel, Suncorp Bank, right? So a lot of banking, right? And you see why I have to report on this, because this, like Bitcoin, is still performing. It's like a block every 10 minutes, as it should be, like clockwork, is not down since 2009. So you see here really, instead, like you want to make a transaction of whatever amount on your bank. Not only are they asking you to whom you are sending that, why is it so much? Not today, because our bank is closed, right? Not only that, but also in the normal trading hours, you have basically issues like that, right? Which you don't have with Bitcoin. And then you see here also Microsoft is down, or at least has major issues. AWS is affected, and many solutions and companies are building on AWS. Gmail is okay, but you really see here like where the red lines is really, really big impact. And I mean, it's banks, it's like media. I mean, if we are honest, it's really good for our mental sanity if media is just away from spreading their bullshit through for a couple of hours. That's actually a good side effect, right? Most media, I mean, you see here Twitter is not affected. My question is, what's the next crypto narrative? Probably this, right? I mean, we have tokenization of assets, and then probably like these decentralized solutions and so on, right? It's only companies using CrowdStrike. Yeah, exactly. But there are many companies that are using CrowdStrike, and we will see how long it takes CrowdStrike to bring everything online. But the problem with companies and businesses like airports and airlines is once you create a delay, it takes time to rearrange everything, right? So it's not like, oh, the system is back up, the problem is gone, right? So, and that accounts for many things. Many businesses that once you have this outage and this delay, it has an effect that takes several days to resolve. And also probably the economy, traditional finance doesn't really like that. So we see here, for example, also Bank of England's bank-to-bank payments system is down, right? And then people are already out like Bitcoin fixes this. And it has very undesired effects. So you can see this here. I hope, sorry, headphone users, I had this on low. So you see that is the effect that this has on people when your flight gets cancelled, right? So that is the effect. But if we are looking at Bitcoin, it doesn't really have an effect on Bitcoin holders, because I mean, Bitcoin is not down. The Bitcoin companies are not affected, so to say, right? So Bitcoin doesn't really care. Bitcoin is sitting there with, like, Bitcoin holders sitting there with popcorn in hand, and they're just looking at the world burning through their window. You know, like that meme with the curtains closing. Yeah, that's Bitcoin right now. Exactly. This is the only problem. Like Trucking Hank says here, stock is down massive already, says Mauricio. And then Trucking Hank says, problem is also my paycheck didn't come in yet today. So we cannot ape into crypto as well. But that doesn't matter, because during the weekend, usually there's no movement at all in crypto. So what are we seeing here from Bitcoin is that really on the daily candle that people really don't care about this event. We could see a little bit of a drop because we have some correlation with traditional markets, and when the markets in the US open and this outage still has big effects, then we can, I don't know if they're already open in some places in the US, but we could see a little bit of a downside here because of that, if the markets react deep in the red or something like that. then we could see that. So we see here, for example, the CrowdStrike shares are already down 20% in pre-market, which is obvious because they are to blame. And why is it down so much? Because people that hold this think that probably all of these companies will have claims against CrowdStrike now, because there are probably penalties against them, contractual penalties. I mean, if you're Delta Airlines and you lose millions in a day because CrowdStrike had an update that didn't work out, then yeah, probably that's bad, right? So this is happening. Hey, LK, what is going on? Good to see you. Pink Panther said, make Vivi great again. Absolutely, that is make collectibles scarce again. That is what's happening. So overall, while everyone using Windows and so on has these blue screens that you also see on the thumbnail, actually Twitter is working flawlessly, so we can still get our information and get our streams out. Also YouTube apparently not affected, right? So make sure to smash up the like button once more for this development here, and for keeping you updated very close to the pulse of the market. Yeah, let's see. I'm feeling sorry for the team that deployed that update. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you imagine the sweat and the hustle that is going on when you when you're like, oh, the entire world's business is dependent on us bringing that bug fix up, right? That must be some real pressure, and probably whatever went wrong, I mean, that could cost someone's head, right, in the company. So I'm really feeling sorry as well for them. And then obviously for everyone else that is working in customer support, doesn't have any information and has to deal with a lot of angry responsibles on the phone that are escalating that. That is a true disaster for everyone that is working in that. Everyone that has worked in such companies already knows how that feels, yeah, and me including. I know how that feels. So it's really not nice, but it is, on the other hand, it is something different. Now let's see at how Bitcoin is being, and crypto in general is being politified, and watch this 30 seconds clip here from Donald Pump just to see what is being promised. So they're high promises. Like him or not, right? That's just the situation. There are so many people getting emotional about this whole Biden Trump thing, but you just have to, as a crypto holder, you just have to look at the world from like an outside person. You cannot leave the matrix and then trying to stay emotional within the matrix, right? Or you cannot leave the simulation but still be emotional about the stuff in the simulation, right? So if you have never watched Matrix, then with all that you know here and all crypto things, you should watch the first part, at least the first part, with these new eyes, right? The red pill moment, and then when this Nebuchadnezzar spaceship flies through the machine world and so on, you have to put this angle on, right? So everyone there, simulation, you are in Nebuchadnezzar flying around and trying to see what's going on inside of the simulation. So and then inside of the simulation, there are narratives being played, and that is what ultimately affects the market, together with the debasement of the machine world, machine payment currency, right? Okay, so that was very philosophical, but now let's listen to someone who has actually easier words for everything.
I will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody to the nation's 50 million crypto holders. I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency.
Yeah, okay. So as you have heard, big promises. I think there are several promises, and there are also, you can also see the reason why he is addressing this point. So he says that 50 million users, that would be equally 50 million votes, right, that you potentially can access. So this is obviously the reason why he's jumping on that wave. And that is also why, he's saying self-custody allowed. He is not going to allow CBDC, so that's everything that basically the crypto world wants, right? And then, yeah, and then there is this rumor behind it that he would basically care for a strategic reserve in the US. And this talk of strategic reserve is very important. Actually, now I have to see where a place is. Yeah, exactly here. So there's a game theory playing out with these talks. It's outlined between China and the US, and actually this graphic is wrong, because Germany has 0 and not 50,000 anymore. So this is an old graphic that has been used, but the essence of what he's saying here, what Luke is saying here, is correct, right? So in the beginning we had like these countries, like Bhutan was mining Bitcoin, and like Bhutan is this outer world country where Buddhist monks living in a forest, like this is the perception, right? And they were mining Bitcoin, and they have a ministry of happiness and so on. So this is very far away from every reality that we have. Like we don't, like our Western civilization doesn't have a ministry that actually cares for if you're happy or not. It only cares for how long you can stay in the hamster wheel to somehow catch up with the debased currency, right? So that is what they care for. So Bhutan didn't really exist, and all these others actually don't matter. But then there was Salvador coming up with like buying a Bitcoin every day, and they have almost 6,000 Bitcoin now. So they are more serious. But then again, none of these countries and leaders of the world would look at El Salvador and say, "Oh man, Bukele is buying so much Bitcoin. We also need to consider that for our countries." They don't care. Like in the eyes of these leaders, this is like just a stupid country, right? So they don't care about this. But now they are like with all these talks, like Bitcoin is US is sitting on 215,000 Bitcoin, which they didn't sell, like mostly from seized operations and so on. And then also the asset managers inside of the US are very strong, like BlackRock. Literally, they have access directly into the politics, and all the others as well. So it's politified now, and there is a genuine interest of the biggest players of the industry that Bitcoin is relatively free. So now the politicians are more and more adopting a narrative where you're actually pro Bitcoin, pro crypto, but that also leads to the rest of the world looking at the US and say, 1 second, if the leader of the world and the owner of the world reserve currency is behaving like that, maybe we should think about a Bitcoin strategy. And that is what's happening here. So China also sitting on a lot of Bitcoin. There is the talk already of China unbanning Bitcoin again. This is how you know you are in a bull market. If China unbans Bitcoin, you're in a bull market, and if they ban Bitcoin again, then you're in a bear market. Because every bear market, a bull market, they unban and ban Bitcoin. They, all the time, like it's banned, it's unbanned, it's banned, it's and every time it's FUD or it's bullish, right? So and then. Like now this thing is playing out where they go back and forth. Like Trump said 2 days ago, China's into Bitcoin and it's not going away. So it's like outlining, hey, China's doing that. We need to be more Bitcoin friendly, keep our industry here, don't leave much terrain there to China. And then on the other side China is like Bitcoin solves gold's problem of divisibility and being and the problem of being inconvenient to carry. So China also more or less bringing this talk of endorsing Bitcoin. And then you have all the other countries like they that have a debt problem, like Japan, where companies are going, like Metaplanet going into Bitcoin and Sony launching a Bitcoin exchange. So it's really about a shift in perception. And with this shift is also that the propaganda against Bitcoin is going to stop or at least shift. So we see less and less this narrative in the public news where countries are issuing basically, only criminals are using Bitcoin, it's only for money laundering and whatnot. So this is going more and more away, and people are more seriously considering Bitcoin. Also because like Jamie Dimon, for example, now shifted his opinion. Larry Fink is turning into a Bitcoin bull. There are all these other figures that have a reputation in economy that are shifting in opinion. It is only a matter of time until more politicians in the world will shift and will reconsider in that sense. And maybe it takes another cycle, right? But the political, yeah, exactly, as Delta Plane says, this could be huge for this cycle, because there is the whole development against this is actually like countries try to stay in control, but if they see that they actually can get something out of it. So for example, if all these asset managers extract massive like billions of dollars in transaction fees, countries actually get to participate in these transaction fees by raising or by having taxes on those gains of these companies, right? So countries are already more interested in that sense, right? And if they can implement rules where you kind of find out who owns what, then they are pretty happy, right? So, and you still can leave custody. We obviously don't want that. We don't want the country to know where exactly we have how many Bitcoin, right? But they will try to get this access. But overall, they will also have to tap into Bitcoin. Otherwise, they will now get left behind. Because imagine what's happening to Germany if they are the only one without Bitcoin. What is happening then if all other countries Bitcoin goes, like one Bitcoin goes to 1 million and Germany has 0 and everyone else has thousands of Bitcoin? That is a big problem, right? So Germany at some point they have to react and buy it back, right? Or buy something. In that case it was Saxony, they sold it off, but now Germany should see and realize and should be able to buy Bitcoin here. So that's very interesting. Now I saw this here, and this is part of the stimulus and of global liquidity, right? It's just in as well. It just came out, this news. Education department to pause student loan payments for millions amid legal battle. So this means that for months now, probably, people will not have to service their debt for the student loans, and they will have money to ape that into crypto. Yeah, so this is only one aspect. And recently I also heard in the, like when I was listening to German news, so in Germany, all the companies that got some kind of stimulus during that last pandemic expansion cycle, they have to repay that at the moment, right? They have to, this was not a permanent stimulus. They got money and they thought it was free money, so they did whatever with it, but now they have to repay. So there's still a part, like a ripple effect that has to go away before the next expansion really hits. And I think that is something that we see right now, that these last payments, they still have to recover from what has happened to the industry, but then I think everyone will have more money available to ape it into higher risk assets, and assets that actually can outperform the negativity that is a market in the form of inflation, of higher prices, which is inflation, right? And so on, and even the tax craze that is going on in Europe. Anyways, so what's really cool here is, you see this here, BlackRock is just eating up all Bitcoin that is coming out. Like if you see this here, like GBTC is only, like it's only growing, right? Sorry, not GBTC, IBIT is only growing, the green bar, right? GBTC is decreasing there on this, right? So you see really here in the end, they own now, as of two days ago, they own 900,000 Bitcoin, which is almost 10% of the entire, almost 5% of the entire circulating supply, of the entire possible supply, I would say. And that is absolutely crazy, and it's still growing. It's still in the beginning. It's the most successful ETF ever, and they will not stop. And the other ETFs, they will try to recover here. So we see here Fidelity, for example, also very big, ARK and so on. They all want their share. We don't know if this, what is the BTCW, is Bitwise or something like that. We don't know if that will actually be able to keep up, because the funds volume, like the funds size is so low that it's maybe unattractive to many people, right? But yeah, once again, also huge for this cycle. This is actually very bullish. So these, like, we can actually relax, chill, lean back and look at what is happening if our bags are packed. Now here with the Ethereum ETFs, there's actually a big development, and that is, so before we had talked about Grayscale, which has much Ethereum in it. Grayscale Ethereum Trust would be launching with 2.5% fee, which we have discussed on Crypto Morning Coffee, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. We have discussed that this was what caused a massive sell-off in Bitcoin, right? The high fees. Now, they actually announced that also that everything, like all the Grayscale Trust will be 0.15, will have the lowest fee. So they're actually taking care of that people are not selling because of the fees, probably learning from the Bitcoin Trust. And this means that if that is the case, then we will not see the sell-off that we predicted in the previous stream, because then just there's no reason to sell your ETH ETF, so to say, from Grayscale. Then you don't have any reasons to switch. Now, this is the race to the bottom in terms of fees. We will see how it plays out. But so far, this 2.5% apparently is off the table. Grayscale also changed their fee waiver details. It was initially similar to BlackRock's, where they were lowering the fee to 0.12% for 12 months, but now it's fully down to 0% for 6 months. So this is also really crazy. 0%. So this means for all the next couple of months, we will have basically no sell pressure for Ethereum after the conversion, except like everyone that wants to sell it anyways, right? So and on the other side, but we will have massive buy pressure. And Ethereum is the leader of the altcoin space, right? So Ethereum is the reason why if Ethereum does well, altcoins will pump hard, right? So we will see. Next Tuesday it will start. We will be here reporting, right? And I'm really curious to see how the first days of inflows look. I mean, you can always expect a little bit of a sell-off when the trading starts, because of sell the news, right? So it has launched, sell the news. Bitcoin is going to dominate. Yeah, Emmett Coyle, that is absolutely right. Bitcoin is going to dominate no matter what. Bitcoin dominance is telling us that story. If we're looking at it, we looked at it almost every day, so I'm not going to pull it up right now, but Bitcoin dominance is going higher. Bitcoin is going to dominate the space this year. Very bullish. Everything, all the signs are for Bitcoin this year, but at some point there will be a massive altcoin season, and I think Ethereum ETFs will take part in that, because you have to see, everyone is, it's institutions buying Bitcoin, institutions buying Ethereum, but institutions will not buy any altcoins. That is true, but it doesn't matter. It will still lead to an altcoin season, because there are so many people that are not institutions that are sitting on massive stacks of Ethereum, and institutions will help put the price up. Who will take profit is all these degenerates that have so much Ethereum, or even staked Ethereum or whatever. They will sell that, and they will try to find opportunities to make the 10, 20, 50, 100x's in the other coins. And we don't even know if we will not get Solana ETFs in the next couple of months as well. Because if this does well here with Ethereum, then these asset managers, they will look at the next big community and the next big project that is backed by many companies, and maybe will start an ETF based on that, or even try to launch something like mixed ETFs, where you have bit of Bitcoin, then Ethereum, and then Solana in there, and then maybe Chainlink and so on, right? So this is a development that could go on, right? So Ethereum is the first step. There could be the Solana. By the way, Solana, just to make the joke here, we have global IT outage. That can also happen with Solana, right? It doesn't happen with Bitcoin, but it can happen with Solana. We saw that many times. I hope it will not happen anymore. I like Solana a lot. I think Solana is good and healthy for the space. But I mean, they had serious problems with outages in the past, right? So I would say this is really bullish, no 2.5%, instead 0.1%, 0.15% and 0% in the first months. That is really good. Now, in terms of global liquidity, this is happening. So the number that really matters here is the monetary policy here on the right, main refinancing operations, unchanged. So that matters. The European Central Bank had cut already 25 basis points, right? Rate cut, as well as Canada, as well as Switzerland. now they are now holding the rate here, right? But they said basically, as well as Jerome Powell said, if you want to reach 2% inflation, you need to act now, because otherwise you will drop below the 2% inflation, and that is also not what they want. So they need to be careful now with the high interest rate to not drive the inflation too much into the ground, because if you get into somewhere deflationary situation, then you have a big problem, right? Yeah, Solana is scary. Solana is scary. Scarily good performing at the moment. Yeah, that's true. So what is going on here, in my opinion, is everyone is looking at the US. Everyone is with the eyes on Jerome Powell and see when the US will start lowering rates, and then they will feel comfortable to do that as well, because the US does it, right? And this is. And here, there are so many thoughts that I have about this. So first thought that I have here is, if you are not careful enough and you leave the rates high for too long, you can drive inflation down to like sub 1%. And then you run into the problem that if inflation, if the devaluation, so prices going up, is not happening anymore, even deflation maybe, many people don't get why this is a problem. But let's say you know that eggs or butter or milk are going to be cheaper tomorrow than today. Like, it's hypothetical. This plays out not from one day to another, but over several months. But you know, price go down, right? You will not, or a car or a house, right? You will not buy that house or car today because you know in 3 months it's cheaper. So the economy cannot have that effect, because then you will not spend anymore and the whole economy goes, like, drives into the ground. So you always have to have this like slight increase in value, so that no one thinks if I hold my money now, in 3 months I can buy more with it. That cannot happen in any economy with the fiat currency, right? But Bitcoin actually gives you the effect. Bitcoin gives you the effect to actually do that, because if you value a house in Bitcoin, you know that you need less Bitcoin in a year or 2 or 3 than today for to buy a house, right? Now it's 6 Bitcoin, before it was 100 Bitcoin or so, right? In a couple of years, it will be only 1 Bitcoin that buys you that house, right? So but the economy cannot have that effect in the fiat currency, because then the economy is wrecked, because then everyone will trade fiat like Bitcoin and never spend. Yeah. Okay, so that is one thought. The other thought that I had is, what was the other thought that I had about the monetary policy here of 4.25%? Actually, I had another good thought. I think it was good. I mean, you be the judge of that. But now I am not really sure. But let's see what you guys are saying, and maybe I remember the other thought that I had. Energy said, Moin just redeemed my Stan Lee codes. Nice stuff. Wow, that's crazy. So I saw that Stan Lee stuff. There is a jacket like Phygital. You can get a gold silver Stan Lee statue, I think, on that NFT stuff. Let's see. Emmett Coyle says mixed feelings about Sol ETH ETF is going to make the layer 2 ETH memes see that bleed off in peak bull season during phase E. This is very confusing, that text, but I think I get what you mean. Like, ETH ETF is going to make layer 2 ETH memes see that bleed off in peak bull. 2025 price target at 36k bear season. I'm not sure what you actually want to say. It's very confusing, but I think that the attention will be a lot on Solana memes, as it already is. That doesn't mean that ETH memes will traditionally not do well or so. I think that there's still room for ETH memes or ETH NFTs, but I think the attention will be on other chains in that sense, in that specific sense, right? Yeah, Andre Omegeko is here, Mariah Hodler. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, good afternoon. I don't know, is it already afternoon? Yeah, it's slightly afternoon, but it's still morning coffee. Sorry to say. Yeah, you had yeah, I had a Joe Biden moment about this. No, that's actually not true. Otherwise, I would have called you guys. I would have called you guys my vice presidents or so. Like my vice president Andre Omigeko and my wife Trucking Hank. Yeah. That is like, listen, Joe Biden is like the most, like, together with Donald Trump, like they're both at the moment the most memeable producing content people that exist, right? So it's actually funny. It's actually funny. It's also kind of cool. I mean, with Biden, I'm like, okay, it's more sad than funny, but the outcome of this is really funny. Did you see the video? Like, did you guys see the video where he tries to, I don't know, like approach or kiss like a woman that he thinks is his wife? That's crazy. I mean, and that's sad, right? Sounds good. Please do so. Only memes this cycle. Memes will. I mean, there will finally be a full stop for memes once people are like really interested in the tech again, and in a couple of narratives that really will play out. I think one of these narratives is blockchain gaming. And by the way, here's the rates of the ECB, just to show this while I'm speaking. So yeah, I think memes will always do good throughout the cycle because there will money be flowing in. But there are so many projects that are actually good and have narratives saved up. That have not pumped yet, right? So, I mean, obviously they have done well already, but nothing in the sense of, I mean, Toncoin, for example, like Ton is super crazy. Ton is a super good project in my opinion. That one for sure. Avalanche, once the blockchain gaming stuff comes, there's so much built on Avalanche. Chainlink is a crazy project. I think it's crazy that Chainlink is now placed 17, still on $13. I think Chainlink is heavily undervalued. That for sure. Then Near Protocol is doing well. Actually, Near Protocol, one of the few that is actually performing well at the moment. By the way, now we see the effect already. You see here in the altcoins, the market is fairly red now, and on several occasions. ICP also pretty strong. Casper, very very strong project. But obviously, it depends on what you want to achieve in this bull run. So for me, all of these like top 50 projects, with the exception of a couple of blue chips like Chainlink, VeChain, and so on, is not really too attractive, right? And there are so many projects that are, if you look closer, they have something going for them, which actually makes sense. And people will be interested in that, right? What are your gaming picks this cycle? Oh man, there are so many good gaming picks in my opinion. Like gaming infrastructure, I would say is pretty good. What about like Beam, for example? Beam is nice, but it's under $1 billion. So can it do a 20x? I think so. Yeah, 20x for Beam could be possible from here. And it's already like, in the last 90 days, it's down 35% already. So that might be something to pick up if you're not longing for these risky 100x's. Another one that is cool is Metacade. Sorry, the ticker is MCADE. Yeah, MCADE. So look at that. It's like super down, right? If you look at this chart here, it's like in the gutter, which I actually like. So I'm probably going to pick up a little more MCADE. So what's good for MCADE is it's fully diluted. But will it do well in the end? Who knows, right? Who knows? It can be that it completely fails, right? I think there is what is it, like Naka? It's obviously because the name Nakamoto Games is already doing well, and it's sitting under 100 million at the moment, down 30%. So this will probably do well. I could see that go to $1 billion or so. So that would be a 10x. Maybe it goes to multiple billions. Who knows, right? In degeneracy, everything can happen. You see it with the meme coins like Dog with Hat, Whiff. Like, look at how Whiff performs. And like Whiff has nothing, like really nothing why other than meme, right? So Whiff is at 2.4 billion. So I would say every coin that you're looking at that has a decent narrative going for it and is sitting at whatever market cap can do that, what WIF did. 2.5 billion. It's possible, right? That would be for Nakamoto games. It would be a 25x. That's not too shabby. If you drop $1,000 in it, get $20,000 or so out of it. Not too bad, right? Thoughts about Naka, GFL? Oh yeah, GFL is another one. So exactly, Jomi says it's GFL. I like GFL. Also pretty good. Look at that. It's down last 90 days, 50% down. That's exactly what I want to buy. Stuff like that, right? And if obviously it's not the only analysis that I do. I look at unlocks. I look at Twitter, how they are doing on Twitter, what the latest development is. But all these projects, like, they know that this is a boring time in crypto at the moment. I mean, Bitcoin, yeah, up 300%, but it's still, like, if you look at social numbers, if you look at the clicks that we're getting on YouTube as content creators and so on, no one cares. No one cares. People are still looking to get their finances under control in this world, and when they do, they ape money into it. And this is exactly so. I think your picks, Jomi, they are really good. I think Naka is fine, GFL is fine, MKate is fine. Maybe look at this last stream. People were telling me about Devi having, like, that is fine. Like, this is super in the gutter, this project as well. It's the market cap is like, I think it's 30 million or so, right? So Devi is like super fast chain. They go more on the green energy thing like VeChain does and so on. But then again, they have like one of the big mobile games built on the chain. So these are all gambles, right? You need, in my opinion, like what I do, I want to have Bitcoin. I want to have some large caps that just give me the, like, a more stability, like Chainlink that is super adopted. Not any large cap, right? There are garbage. So for example, I don't want to have Dogecoin in my portfolio, right? Some people want it because they hope that Elon is going to post some Dogecoin memes and it goes up. But I want to have stuff like Chainlink and what did I say, Toncoin and whatnot. That just gives me a little bit more stability, but a little bit more run in any case. And then I want to complement that with a fast lane project. Like, for example, if I put I don't know, $1,000 into Devi and it runs 25, 30, 50x, right? Fine, I can take profit on the way. If it doesn't, okay, $1,000 gone. Who cares, right? If I have 51% of my portfolio in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin does a 2 or 3x, I'm still fine, right? I'm not doing super decent, but so I want to have a lot of these seedlings, so to say, planted. And I would say GFL is decent, MKate is decent, Chappies is decent, Devi is decent. There are many projects. Like if we're going in the list or through the list here, and we're just let's jump to page 3 or so. Like Chili's is a very good project. It's sitting at 600 million, right? Okay. So what would it do? That is that gives you if that 10x's, you are at 6 billion, right? So that is not the size that we want, right? But it's cool. It's cool project. It's very much a good project, and they have a lot of new developments. But let's look at the 100 million ones here. Oh, look at that! What a coincidence! Ecomi could be a thing. Like but let's look. Let's see what is Kujira. I think that's AI or so. I'm not sure. What else is here in this list? Let's go to page 1. I want to really go into that 100 million. That if it reaches a billion, it does a 10x, and then from there you can go, right? And then what you can do is, for example, you look these projects up and you do like a full check on it before you ape money into it, right? You go to CryptoRank.io. And you look at the vesting schedule. You go to Twitter and see if the Twitter is active or if it's dead, right? You go to CoinMarketCap and you look at the market cap in general and how much diluted it is and whatnot. So yeah, there are a lot of projects that I don't even know anymore. Here, KNC Kyber Network. I don't know. I think there was something going on with this. I don't know if it's good, to be honest. Portal, I've heard about this. let's say some of the names are like this for example, I would keep my fingers away from this XYM symbol. So this is a token that got converted out of NEM when NEM got, I don't know, sold or rug pulled, or so they gave an airdrop of XYM to people and then they continued with this. And I really don't like when this happens. But here, for example, Nakamoto Games, right? So Nakamoto Games, 95 million. I think this is a decent one. You see it has some strength. It's 138% up still. Yeah. Yeah, Delta Planes says Devi to a trillion, gazillion, billion, and so on, right? Can happen. Dino Dragon asks, why are they so scared to list OMI on a US exchange? No idea. To be honest, I cannot answer it at that point anymore. I hope it still happens. Then it will go crazy if it happens. Energy Web Token is a token of the other cycle. This is like for Smart City, whatever. Like they have a lot of partners. I don't know if they can do well. I mean, what I genuinely like, is if a token has this, like it's down bad right now, short term, but it shows some strength long term. It's up 100% or so. That's perfect, right? Because, Illuvium. So I'm not too familiar with the current progress of Illuvium. Let's look at it. So Illuvium 500. This is borderline too big for like the big wife changing gains, right? Because that, I mean, a 10x on this and you're sitting at 5 billion. I mean, it can happen. Like, if you say the whole altcoin market is genuinely doing a 10x, right? Okay, fine. Then this probably does a 20x or so. But it will not do much more. Although, if you look at the all-time high, I don't know, and this is something you need to research. Just because something was at an all-time high of $1,000, and now it's at sorry, that's a volume chart, I think. No, it says price chart here. So the price was $1,900 and now the price is 66, right? But you cannot just say, oh, it's going to up here again. You have to see if there was a token dilution before, and then you have to see what was the market cap there and what is the market cap now, and that will give you the chance of multiple if you go back to the market cap all-time high. Okay, so for example, Cadena has, or Filecoin, they have suffered extensive dilution throughout the history of the bear market. And by the way, if you go to Livecoin, which I'm not affiliated or anything, I just like to use it because it's like gives me easy insight. There are so many, but you can just click here on Illuvium X and you will get the page. You will drop to the Illuvium main account, and then you can check out already how it looks. For example, here it's like the official trailer. So they brought out this official trailer that looks pretty good. Actually, it looks very good. Let me see here. Let us see here for the Illuvium. I always like if a trailer gives you the chills. So this, you know what that reminds me with the mushrooms here? That reminds me, the whole thing, by the way, reminds me of World of Warcraft. So that looks like the Zangar marshes in World of Warcraft, right? With the mushrooms and everything. So this gives me already like the only these pictures give me this. I like games where you can explore, and World of Warcraft in the early days was very much that what I liked. So and this looks like that one in close to Orgrimmar, like I forget the name, or this looks like a fusion of I don't know what with the Nagrand flying islands. So they have this World of Warcraft vibes, which I already like, right? Also, that looks like a night elf, by the way. So, this is a trailer, right? I mean, doesn't mean that the game looks like this, but a good trailer attracts, right? And I mean, if the game is only like close to what it could be, like what this is showing, then this could be good, right? It's funny though because they have this trailer, and I thought that Illuvium is going to be more like a game of like Pokemon style, where you can catch these Illuvials. Like there you go, right? Oh, this looks like Darth Maul, by the way. In you remember Star Wars Episode 1 when Darth Maul launches these little drones? It reminds me of that. So they have a lot of things where you say, okay, maybe I want to really play that, and I like that. If so, this is for Illuvium. That also, like, they have so many elements. Someone played World of Warcraft there for sure, like for 100% sure. Yeah, it's a good trailer. This is a really good trailer, right? I mean, you can. Someone completed the ley lines here. Yeah, and then it's only dark and Illuvium and whatnot. Okay, fine. Okay, so I think Illuvium can do well. What is this? Meet the Earth Fleesh. This Illuvial hops through dazzling crystal caves using the sticky feet and toughened skin. Is it already playable? I mean, can we play Illuvium? Let's see here. Also, good. I have Devi, says Dino. Yeah, let's see how it plays out, right? I mean, you never can. You can't be too sure, but it's a gamble, right? I don't like Gala. The tokenomics are not really for me, but yeah. So Illuvium, yes. Gala, no. I would say, not this, but next cycle. Okay. I'm not going to hold Devi through 2 cycles. I'm going to sell it and then I rebuy it if they do well. Evo. Okay. Also, yeah, Evo. This one. Evo has $432 million market cap, but yeah, and $50 million volume. That's actually crazy. I don't know what they do. Maybe I have to do some research on that. Wilder World also has some crazy good quality in their trailers, but still no news from that metaverse. You get the FOMO when you watch it. Yeah, I see. Wilder World was crazy, and actually they commented also on the VV stuff, but more to like probably to tap into the community. Wilder World has super crazy graphics if it's true what they're showing. They don't only have trailers like this though. They have really gameplay videos, right? Delta Plane says Illuvium launches on mainnet end of July. Yeah, beware. It could be Zelda news event, right? So I would definitely see. Okay, they deploy, and then I was thinking about this, guys. I was thinking about like this vertical of blockchain gaming is probably going to be big, right? So I was thinking about we should play these games also to really know what's going on, right? So on stream. But I don't want to. This is a crypto news channel, crypto education channel, macroeconomics. I don't know what, right? So probably I'm going to create another channel, like a sub channel here, and then we can just have a good time. I can go online whenever I want to and have some time to play Illuvium or to play Wilder World if it comes out and so on. So we can then go and like, what is there? Shrapnel. Oh, by the way, there's also player bull games and so on. So there was a little bit of this narrative, and maybe it's coming back, right? But we should really not, once these games come out, and I mean, if there's a this mainnet deployment, we should have a channel to just talk about crypto while I'm gaming and while I'm testing the stuff, right? So if you like the idea, please let me know in the chat or in the comments below later if you watch it later. But this is my idea, and it doesn't have to be crypto gaming. It can be whatever game that I'm just. I mean, also when Pokemon TCG comes out with NFTs, by the way, that will be on that channel then. So yeah, I think I will launch something like that, and then we can have a chat while I'm about everything crypto, while I'm just gaming, right? And then maybe we interrupt the game and look a little bit at fundamentals and altcoins and whatnot. But I really want to have this out of this channel here, so that people don't get bored, right? Yeah, and then maybe if at some point the VVverse comes out, that will be then also on that channel, so that we have more like metaverse and gaming stuff. I don't know, it's probably going to be like Patient Hodler Plays Games or so, something like super creative title. Yeah, Delta Plane says I would watch you playing. Yeah, okay, that's great. So if you say that, if you give that feedback, that probably counts for many people. Smash up the like button also on this video if you want that evolution, so to say, second channel, or for playing. It will be purely for fun, and maybe it does well and will be like become a new meta, playing while talking crypto, right? Energy says at 15th the game is officially out via Epic Game Store. You can install it for free. And by the way, I will then also have to check if my computer is even able. Like, my computer is super old. If the computer does not or is not able, then I have to invest in a new computer and new setup. But we will see as we go, right? I know that at least World of Warcraft and stuff like that, this computer is still able to support. But that's about it. Okay, guys. So for today, like, it's a freaking Friday. So smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the stuff. 20 people here. I really appreciate it here. I hope you had a great lunch break or wherever you are on the world. A super good time here with the stream. I'm actually excited to stream more. Maybe on the weekend even we'll have some streams. Stay tuned for videos and other content that is coming out. Stay tuned for news on that gaming channel. We also have to do another altcoin stream to ape another $50 into the altcoin portfolio. So there is a lot to do here for me. But please keep in mind that I am a person that still goes to the hamster wheel to work. And that means that sometimes it just doesn't work out as I wanted to. But anyways, wherever you are on the world, have this great morning.